Okay, so what we've done so far is we've converted this into one object. So once again, we clicked and dragged, and then went over to the Pathfinder and united that. All right, so this creates a whole new set of paths. Once again, like a rectangle, it has this little circle right here that you can change the shape of the corners. I'll show you another way to do that as well. So once again, our regular selection is going to make it look like just one shape, and once we go to our direct selection, then we can click on individual corners or anchor points, and we can start manipulating them. So if I go to the corner like this, I can click and I can drag, and I can extend that out, so I can reshape it. I could click here and I can move it around a little bit to even it out. Because this is a curved line, so something to know is anytime you have a straight line, I'm going to do this really quick. Anytime you have a straight line or a corner that comes to a point, you can see when I click on this, it's just the blue point only. Over here, because there's a curve in this, when I click on this point, it brings up what's called a handle, okay? And that's because it's curved, it's not a straight line. And so what that does is it gives me a couple options. One, I can click here and I can kind of move this around to smooth it out, change the shape. But I can also click and drag on the handle. So the handle has a line on it, and the curve right here is going to follow the way that the line is going. So if I bring this down, it's going to follow that way or that way. And if I drag it way out, it's also going to follow there. So that's going to kind of define your curve. So in this case, I could click and drag that, and I can reshape it here and bring it down. I could also reshape this one, so it starts to allow you to manipulate that shape a little bit more. If you decide that you don't want that to be a curve, so like right here, it has anchor points, it's a curve, I can go over to convert, click here, and this should, I don't know if it did it, it should convert it into a non-curve. Or I can go to a different anchor point and I can make it a curve. That works better. The other one should do that, but you've got some options to change the shape as well. So what I want you to do is kind of create a better flow with this. I'll show you one other technique. With the anchors over here, the pen tool right here also gives some options. We'll use the pen tool later, but just know that you can add anchor point, which is the plus. So I could click right down here. I could add an anchor point in there, go to my direct selection, and I could drag that around, move that around. Also, you can add anchor points. You can also go to the delete anchor points, which is the pen tool with the minus, and you can click and you can take anchor points away as well. So right now I just want you to use the direct selection and click and move some of these around to kind of reshape. This one I could use the handle and kind of move it around. So give your fish a little bit of your own characteristics. You can follow what I'm doing. I'm going to do the add right here. And because I added an anchor point there, I'm going to go to the convert anchor point to smooth. And so it adds those handles. And then I can come to my direct selection. I can just move this around. Okay, if I decide to take that off, I can do convert and it makes it a point. So I can go back and forth and decide which looks better. Then I'm going to go to this one. I'm going to shift the handle just a little bit to change the shape. Drag this out, make it look a little bit different. Okay, so reshape this. You are also welcome to take off the stroke, the outside. So you can click none, and then you would just have a shape like this. All right, lastly, we're going to add just a little eye to this. So come to your ellipse. We'll shift, click, and drag. We're going to make that no stroke, and then you can choose a color. I recommend white. And then we can Control C, Control V, or you can do Control Alt. we gotta meet on that regular selection tool. Well, I'll click and drag. There we go, it worked even though it didn't have those two little arrows show up, it still worked. I can do shift, make this smaller, put a little pupil in there. So let's choose a color from our color palette. You can choose a color. I'm just gonna add black. All right, we made a fish by combining shapes. Ta-da! Go ahead and you can save this. So you're gonna do File, Save As. You can save to the cloud on Adobe. If you've been using Adobe, maybe you've already been doing that. Otherwise, save directly to your computer. Make sure it's named Skill Builder 4. Make sure you know where you're saving it to. And then you're good to go.